الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يقول الله عز وجل: وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا. ويقول الله عز وجل: فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم إنه لقرآن كريم في كتاب مكنون لا يمسه إلا المطهرون تنزيل من رب العالمين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Alhamdulillah, respected brothers, elder sisters, our Allah Ta'ala, one Sahaba, he was giving the description of the Sahaba that they were Fursanul Nahar wa Ruhbanul Layl. They were Fursanul Nahar wa Ruhbanul Layl, meaning that the Sahaba, they were in the daytime, they were horsemen. Wa Ruhbanul Layl, and at night time, they spent the whole night in ibadah, in worship, in salah, qiyam, sujood. So, this was their overall quality, that Fursanul Nahar or Ruhbanul Layl. Allahu Akbar, they spent their entire life they spent in Allah's worship, in Allah's slavery. One thing that why is the Muslim Ummah today, that why are we facing so much, like zulum or oppression, and then why are we facing so much tragedy and tribulation? The ayat which I just recited, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. Allah is saying, O Muhammad, I have similarly, and I have sent wahi, I have sent revelation on you, أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. A ruh, a soul from myself, or with my command, and from my behalf, I have sent a ruh to you. So Allah is expressing the Quran as ruh. أوحينا إليك, I have given you wahi, which is ruh min amrina. So Allah is expressing in this ayat, in Surah Ash-Shura, that the Quran is like a soul for you, O insan. It's like a ruh, it's like a jan to us. Allah is expressing the Quran that the Kalamullah, the Quran, is a ruh, is a soul, it's a life. For example, if someone buries a live person in the ground, if someone does dafan to a live person, it's in the admi. If someone does bury this guy alive, or a female, anyone, as long as he or she is alive, a live man, what's the consequence? The consequence is that you're going to go to jail. This is murder. So if you are burying a live person, you are a murderer, everyone will hate you, you become the biggest criminal, and you become the biggest, sinner, which is also one of the very greatest guna. But the same person, when his life is gone, when his ruh is not in his body, his soul is not there, and when you bury that same person, people, they respect you. That mashallah, you did a great job. The deceased corpse, it was smelling. It was spreading filth. But alhamdulillah, you got rid of this body. The same individual, just because the life is not there, and if you bury this person, forget about being murderer, you get reward. Everyone likes you. And this is considered an act of worship. Either she's a Muslim, could be a Muslim, non-Muslim, anything. The difference is that one had life and one did not have life. So as insan, our hearts has today, what's the condition of our hearts? Quran was given to this ummah. Allah Azza wa Jal, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. In the beginning of the Quran, Allah speaks the greatness of this Quran. This Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal, يَرْفَعُ بِهِ قَوْمًا وَيَضُعُ بِهِ آخَرِينَ. It is a source that you will have victory وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ is a source that you will be getting victory. You will be victorious. You will have the strength. إِن مَكَّنَّاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ لَا يَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Whatever you want, all the masail of the dunya, I will give it to you. But the condition is that you cannot turn your backs towards this Quran. Muslim Ummah today, imagine, millions of Muslims. But where is their quwwat? Where is the strength? The strength is, the quwwat is gone. Because our connection with the Quran has become very distant. Very, very far. Today, ma'azallah, may Allah forbid, the condition of this ummah today is that we made the Quran a ritual, we made the Quran a source or a means for few options only. Person, he opens a masjid, or he buys a new house, or he buys a new store. This is our desi culture, and everywhere almost. So when you are opening a new shop, is that why Allah revealed Quran? That okay, Maulvi Sahab, I have made a new shop. Now can we come to the shop and read some Quran and make some dua? We buy a new house. We call the Sheikh, I have bought a new house, inshallah. Come and recite some Quran. I'm not saying this is najais or this is prohibited, not like that. But this is the condition of Ummah today. And the whole year, the whole life, there's no connection with the Quran. There's no love with the Quran. But when it comes to a few occasions, we bring the Quran and we blow the dust off the Quran. And you can see the whole huge like volcano coming in. Because the dust is sitting on the Quran. The whole year we don't touch it. Nobody. Allah is not so cheap. Islam is much more honorable. Ya qawmi, inna qawmi ittakhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. Janab Rasulullah sallallahu, he is expressing his regret, his afsos, his nadamat. That ya qawmi, ya Rabbi, inna qawmi ittakhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. Oh Allah, this my qawm, my nation, they have left the Quran mahjura. They don't have any ta'alluq with the Quran, they have made it mahjur. So this Quran, this is the strength Allah will give us. Ja'al haqqu wa zahaqal batil. We use this ayat very often, right? That Ja'al haqqu wa zahaqal batil, innal batila kana zahuqa. That haqq came and batil will be gone. And of course, haqq, innal batila kana zahuqa, batil, which is not true, it will be lost, it will, it defeated. We use this ayah very often. But what is the meaning of this ayah? Ja'al haqqu wa zahaqal batil. Mufti Muhammad Shabir Sarqullah alayh, who was a very great scholar of Pakistan, he said in the commentary of this ayat that Ja'al haqqu wa zahaqal batil. Haqq will come and it will prevail, it will be dominant over batil if there is one condition. He said by therefore, if there is batil, 100% batil, 100% shirk, 100%, which is not true, batil, 100% batil. But if a place or a country where there is 100% batil, but they have 1% haqq, they have what? 1% haqq. He said that they will prevail. They will be dominant. And he said in the opposite, that Muslim country, Muslim people, Muslim nation, 100% haqq, but they have few amount of batil. He said Allah will keep them down. Allah will keep them down. So this ayat is not so easy. That I'm going to say we are Muslim, Ja'al haqqu wa zahaqal batil. We are Muslim, we are the believers. Allah gave us Quran. This is our kitab. This is kitabullah. But where is the amal with the Quran? Where is the love with the Quran? So unless Allah made we say Musa Kalimullah, right? Musa Kalimullah. That Musa Salam, he was Allah's Kalim. Allah used to talk with him. And by her ummah, every individual of this ummah, they are also Kalimullah. Allah talks with each and every every single Muslim and Muslimah, male or female Muslim who read the Quran and who are praying namaz, who are praying salah, Allah talks with each and every single one. Look at the azmat, look at the honor Allah gave me, Allah gave you. We are the Hamil Quran. That Quran which the mountain they rejected, they denied. فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ. The Pahad, the mountain, so severe and so heavy, they said, فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا. Oh Allah, we cannot take your Quran. It's too heavy, it's too big. وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا. And they expressed fear and hope. But insan وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ. You insan, you took it. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. It would rend asunder, it would tear into pieces a mountain with the fear of Allah. And what is my condition today? من جعله أمامه قاده إلى الجنة ومن جعله خلفه ساقه إلى النار. This Quran, you make the Quran your rahbar, your guide, and your means of solace, your means of guidance. It will take you to Jannah. And put it behind the back, you're going to go backwards. Meaning towards Jahannam. So Jannah Rasulullah, he came in this ummah to save this ummah from, he came to this ummah with all khayr, with all goodness of this world and in the hereafter. The goodness of tranquility, goodness of peace, goodness of every single thing, whatever we want in this dunya. He came with everything, and the Quran is the main source. Sahaba Ikram, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, their ta'alluq with the Quran, their love with the Quran, their attachment of heart, their heart attachment with the Quran, this was the main reason. This was the main reason why they rebelled so much. This was the main reason why Allah made them radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. Like yesterday Mufti Abdus he was saying, mashallah, very beautifully, radiyallahu anhum wa radu an, it didn't come just like that. We can also have the radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. We can also have the same privilege that Allah will be pleased upon me and you. But the shart is that we cannot detach ourselves from the main source, from the main fountain, from the main energy source, which is the Quran, Kitabullah. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. What else you need? The summary meaning of this ayat is that, oh insan, what else can you want? What else can you demand from me? وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي. Already, when I have given you the Surah Fatiha and the Quran Azim, what else can you want? فِيهِ شِفَاءٌ لِلنَّاسِ. In many ayat Allah said in Quran that there is shifa, shifa is a cure for insan, for everyone. The solution to all the issues we can face, and the last Muslim who will come on this earth, he or she will face, the solution is in the Quran. But the condition is that how much I am having ta'alluq with this Quran. How much is my muhabbat, how much is my love with this Quran. So, Sahaba Ikram, radiyallahu anhum, they make the Quran, they had heart, they had deep connection. They had so immense love with the Quran by doing its tilawat. Number one is to do the tilawat. Number one is the tilawat of the Quran. Number one condition to gain ta'alluq with the Quran is to read the Quran and try to understand the meaning. This is the first step. That what my Allah is trying to communicate with me. هذا كتابنا ينطق عليكم بالحق. It speaks to you. This Quran, it speaks to you. What my Allah is trying to tell me in this message. What Allah is trying to tell me, oh insan, oh me and you. That, oh insan, this is me Allah, I'm talking with you. Now have ta'alluq with me. The connection, the only line, the only connection with Allah is Quran Kareem. You can call it the telephone line or the telephone cord. You name whatever you want. Only way to reach with the Zat who is over min fawq sab'a samawat, that Zat who is in the heaven. The only way to have connection with Allah, with us ganda insan, is the Quran Kareem, having ta'alluq with the Quran. How insignificant we are. Allah made us from such impure water, such impurity, such impure water, that when it comes out, when it's discharged, ghusl becomes farz on you. Such impure we are, that we were made and created from that water, which is so napak, that when it comes out, ghusl is farz on you. You have to take compulsory bath. This insan, this napak insan, Allah made so much ihsan, that me Allah, innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana fa'budni. Me Allah, I am talking with you. You, O napak and insignificant insan, I am talking with you, and I have made this Quran as a telephone. This Quran is a telephone for me and you. Whatever you need, turn to Allah. And whatever you need, I am also turned towards you. O insan, you don't even have to raise your hands. You don't even have to express your need with your mouth. I am already there. Right? So, just for the few misal, that how the Sahaba Ikram, how they studied the Quran, and how much shauq they had, and how much, dilchaspi they had with the Quran. Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhum, the Sahaba Ikram, in general, all the Sahaba, their method was that they used to learn Quran, 10 ayat and 10 ayat. 10 verses, 10 verses, like that. So they would memorize 10 verses of the Quran, and they will not go to the next 10 verse unless they have practiced and learned what is in that 10 verse. So they have understood and they have learned the ma'arif, the ulum and the knowledge. Sayyid Qutb Shahid, rahimahullah, he said that the Sahaba, that they are the scholars of the knowledge of Quran. He said the Sahaba, they were the scholars of the knowledge of the Quran. Ajib. Meaning, they were those individuals who saw Quran being revealed. They were those individuals who witnessed the Quran being revealed. Hazrat Aisha, radiallahu anha, she sang one day that the Arabic, I'm not sure. The meaning is that as if pearl is dropping down from the forehead of Jannah Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Such a beautiful word. Such a beautiful word. As if kannahu kanna jiman something like that. Jazakallah khair. That as if pearl is dropping down from the forehead of Jannah Rasulullah. Ajib, Allahu Akbar. She is expressing the wahi. So beautiful. She is expressing wahi. That wahi she is watching, she is witnessing that the wahi is coming on my Nabi. And she is expressing that wahi as if it's a pearl. Because he was reading. By Quran is inna sanulqi alayka qawlan thaqila. This Quran is not very halka, it's not very light thing. A camel, it can take up to 2 tons of weight. 2 tons weight a camel can bear. But when my Nabi, he was on the camel and wahi was revealed unto my Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the camel could not tolerate it and it would sit down. This is inna sanulqi alayka qawlan thaqila. This is the Quran which we are turning our backs towards. And he would sweat. One day, our Nabi, he had his head on the lap of a Sahaba, on the thigh, and wahi came on our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that Sahaba, he said, as if my thighs or my leg is being crushed and is being swallowed in the earth. And although only the head of my Nabi, it was on the lap, not the whole body. And it was winter, it was severe cold, and his whole face was full of sweat. Every single ayat, he faced similar thing, difficulty. And that ayat comes to us, that Quran comes to us, and look at our mu'amala with the Quran. Look at our ta'alluq with the Quran. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Allah is tashkiling us. Al-Unsan or فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Where are you? It's Allah's kalam. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. You are not going to study Quran? You are not going to read Quran? I have made it easy. I have made it asan. Where are those people? فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. कौन है जो कुरान पढ़ेगा? कौन है? Allah is doing tashkil to us. Anyway, as I was saying, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, that the Sahaba Ikram, they would do Quran like this. They would study 10 ayat, and then they would learn the ulum and the ma'rifah, and then they would carry on. It took Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu 8 years to memorize Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah, it took him 8 years to memorize. And we become hafiz in 2 years. Why? They read one Quran and they put it in their blood. وَتُخَلِّطَهُ بِلَحْمِي وَدَمِي وَسَمْعِي وَبَصَرِي وَتَسْتَعْمِلَ بِهِ جَسَدِي بِحَوْلِكَ وَقُوَّتِكَ. Oh Allah, make the Quran وَتُخَلِّطَهُ بِلَحْمِي وَدَمِي وَسَمْعِي وَبَصَرِي وَتَسْتَعْمِلَ بِهِ جَسَدِي بِحَوْلِكَ وَقُوَّتِكَ. Dua of our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Allah, how do you say mukhallat? Like you mix the Quran. You mix the Quran and put it inside my blood, my bone, my laham, my meat, my eyes, my ears. And oh Allah, تَسْتَعْمِلَ بِهِ جَسَدِي بِحَوْلِكَ وَقُوَّتِكَ. Make my entire body a namuna, a burning namuna, example of the Quran. That the whole, my body, my whole entire body, it will reflect only Quran. And wallahi, man ja'alahu amamahu qadahu ila al-jannah yarfa'u bihi qawman. Izzat, honor, dignity, we will never find anywhere unless we come back to the Quran. Allahu Akbar. Umar radiyallahu anhu, he would tell Abu Musa Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu, ذكرنا ربنا وشوقنا إلى ربنا. And Abu Musa Ash'ari فيقرأ. As Umar is saying, oh Abu Musa, remind me of our Lord, remind us of Allah, and shawwiqna ila rabbina, make us inclined, make us eager, make us have shawq and love for Allah. And then Abu Musa Ash'ari, he would read the Quran. Meaning, the Quran was their means to attain Allah's love. The Quran was their reason to remember Allah Azza wa Jal. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. You remember Allah, Allah will remember you. Hazrat Uthman Zinnurayn radiyallahu anhu, he's saying, ما أحب أن يأتي علي يوم ولا ليلة إلا أنظر في كتاب الله. I don't want, one day or one night, it cannot pass in my life. Not a single day and not a single night can come to my life إلا أنظر في كتاب الله. That except I am going to read Kitabullah. It's not possible. I cannot imagine a life or a day of my life or a night of my nights except I'm going to read Kitabullah. And then it comes that ما مات عثمان حتى خرق مصحفه من كثرة ما كان يديم النظر فيه. And Uthman radiyallahu anhu, at the time of his intiqal, his demise, the Quran, with his mushaf, his Quran, it became tear. There was a lot of tear and wear. Tear and wear was there in the Quran. It became, it teared up. It became very weak and very, thin. Why? Because of the excessive Quran he used to read. The excessive turning of the Quran. Now, mashallah, our Quran is like, I know that one lady, may Allah give her blessing and rahmat, she showed me a Quran, which was her grandfather's. And the Quran is, mashallah, intact and beautiful. I was like, subhanallah. It can go to all the Qiyamah. Because if you open once Ramadan only, if you open the Quran in the Ramadan month, so it's 11 months, so it's going to take you a decade or century. It's going to take us 1 century to do one khatam of the Quran. And Hazrat Usman, Allahu Akbar, the Quran, it became like almost teared up and almost, very old and very dark. Min kasrati ma kana yudimu an-nazara, because he used to read so much of the Quran. So I guess this Muslim Ummah, since we are, mashallah, very strong Muslims, maybe we need less Quran to read, right? If Hazrat Usman, his condition is like this, then where should we be? Where should our halat be standing? Hazrat Usman, he's also saying, لَوْ طَهُرَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ مَا شَبِعْتُ مِنْ كَلَامِ اللَّهِ. O insan, if your hearts were pure, you will never be content by reading the Quran. لَوْ طَهُرَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ. If your hearts was pure and clean, مَا شَبِعْتُ مِنْ كَلَامِ اللَّهِ أَبَدًا. You will never be satisfied and say, I had enough of the Quran. The more you read, the more rughbat you have. The more you read, the more zeal you have. The more you read, the more taste you have. Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he's saying, أَدِيمُ النَّظَرَ فِي الْمُصْحَفِ فَإِنَّهُ عِبَادَةٌ. Keep, even if you just look in the Quran, you keep the Quran in front of you, you open the pages, just by keeping your gaze in the Quran, Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu is saying, it is an act of worship. And qiraat, Allahu Akbar. Each and every haraf is 10 jaza, 10 reward. Iqrimah ibn Abi Jahl radiyallahu anhu, Abu Jahl's son, Hazrat Iqrimah radiyallahu anhu, كان يأخذ المصحف فيضعه على وجهه ويبكي ويقول كلام ربي كتاب ربي. Iqrimah radiyallahu anhu, he would hug the kitabullah, he would hug the kitab. يضعه على وجهه, he would bring the kitab to his face, and he would cry, he would weep, and he would say, Kalam Rabbi, Kitab Rabbi, Kalam Rabbi, Kitab Rabbi. These are the words of my Lord. It's the kalam of my Allah. Ishq and muhabbat. Allahu Akbar. And there are many more misal examples. Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, one Sahaba, his name was Abu Usama al-Nahdi. He is narrating that I stayed as a guest in the house of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu for 7 days. And in the 7 days, every night I saw Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he would pray salah in the night time. Before going to sleep, he would pray salah. And then he would read the Quran. And then he would go to sleep, and before going to sleep, he would call his wife. And then she wakes up, and then she prays salah, and then she reads Quran, and then before she goes to sleep, she wakes their slave girl, the khadima. And then that slave girl, that khadima, she wakes up, and she reads the Quran, she prays salah. And Abu Usama is saying, the whole night Abu Hurairah's house is echoing with the Quran's voice. By rotation, the whole night is in Quran recitation. This was the house of the Sahaba. And nowadays, even our iPhone or our pads doesn't even play the Quran. Forget reading, वो तो बहुत दूर की बात है. किताब Quran पढ़ना, that's very far. Even we don't want to even listen to the Quran. Right? Allah forgive us. So one last misal, or one last example, how the Sahaba, they had love with the Quran, and how Malaika, they descended. Usayd ibn Hudayr radiyallahu anhu, famous story, we all know it. Usayd ibn Hudayr radiyallahu anhu, he is saying that Zata Laylatin, I was reading Quran in one night, and Isdalat farasuhu, the horse, it was in the stable, and it started moving, and it became nervous, right? And then I stopped Quran, it stopped. I again started reading Quran, ثم دارت فرس مرة أخرى. Again the horse starts to become nervous. It is moving, it's like jumping. So I stopped Quran, the horse stops. Third time I started reading Quran again. Again the horse becomes nervous. It moves, it's moving around. It's becoming nervous. So فخشيت أن تطأ يحيى, his son name was Yahya, and he was small child. He said that I became scared that this horse, it can like trample my son. It can step over my son. So he said that I was fearing Yahya, that Yahya he's sleeping there, and then let it not be that the horse it walks over the boy and tramples him. So he said that I stopped reading Quran, and then I went out. فرأيت مثل ظلة فيها أمثال الثلج. I saw like a umbrella type, and in the umbrella type there was أمثال الثلج, small lamps. And then as I was looking at this beautiful, this extra superb scenery, like a big umbrella, and there was lamps inside. عرجت في الجو حتى ما أراها. And then when I was looking at this beautiful scenery, it started going upwards, ascending, until it went up and I couldn't see it anymore. So I was curious and I was, excited, and I was like nervous. What is it? What did I see? Beautiful lamp-like thing in a beautiful, circle. Next day, he said, "Oh, Ya Nabi Allah, oh Allah's Prophet, this was my condition last night. That I was reading Quran, and then my heart became nervous. I did this again 3 times, and then I came out to see, and I see this beautiful lamp. Our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, tilkal malaika. They are the malaika. Oh Usayd, those were angels. They came down from the heaven to listen to your Quran. What strength they had. Look at the amount of love and ishq they had with the Quran. Malaika, they come down. And our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying, وَلَوْ قَرَأْتَ لَأَصْبَحَ النَّاسُ يَرَوْهَا. Oh Usayd, had you kept reading the Quran till the morning, every insan they would have seen this malaika. The strength in the Quran which brought down malaika from the heaven, in shakal, in surat, in form, in physical form, the malaika came. I'm not saying that's their exact form, but that's one of the form. May Allah all give us tawfiq and ability that we can have love with the Quran, make this our ritual, our habit, create heart ta'alluq, create the ta'alluq relation from my heart with the Quran. Love this kitab. And wallahi, inshallah, you will see. Allah will make you successful. Allah will make you successful. Allah will remove all our difficulties. And inshallah, we will only experience peace and peace. جزاكم الله خير وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.